Okay, I think I'm ready to speak. Hello, everybody. So lately I've been engrossed in debates on YouTube about gender. Gender is such an interesting thing to unpack because it's a human phenomenon that we all have a million different perspectives on. People have different explanations for what it means to be a man, for what it means to be a woman, for what it means to be genderqueer, what it means to be literally every single identity imaginable. And while there's a lot of variation in the response to the question, what it means to be a certain gender, I think we can all agree that gender 100% shapes our world whether we want it to or not. So I'm gonna start talking about how growing up as a man wasn't actually the best thing for me. I should clarify that when I say growing up as a man, I mean growing up as a man with this expectation of having to be masculine. So this all begins actually when I was 8 years old and I was at Disney World. I bet you weren't expecting that. My family was watching the fireworks over the Disney castle, and I remember seeing Tinkerbell weaving in and out of all the towers, and there was something so beautiful about it to me. You know, I didn't have the words for it at the time, but I liked her because she was elegant. She was small but powerful, and she had some sort of finesse about her that I really admired. And not even just admired, I wanted it for myself. Without me even really realizing it, Tinkerbell had become my first role model. My family goes to the gift shop and tells me and my sister that we can each pick out one thing for them to buy and for us to take home. So I walk around the store for a little bit. I try and figure out what is going to be this one thing that I can take home, and I stumble upon it, a Tinkerbell necklace. Now, I don't actually remember what the necklace looked like, but I remember my parents' faces when I gave it to them and told them that that was what I wanted. They both looked very concerned. My dad refused to give it to the cashier and actually grabbed a baseball that was on the shelf over, handed it to me and said, "Wouldn't this be a better souvenir?" I shook my head no and then told him that I wanted the Tinkerbell necklace, but he just could not seem to believe me. And then my mom told me, "Okay, fine, we'll get the necklace for you." And that's when a fight started to occur in the fucking Disney gift shop. My dad was trying to put the baseball on the counter and my mom was being like, "No, like, we're gonna just give him the necklace. Gary, this does not matter, it's fine." To which eventually my dad conceded. He acquiesced. But by the time I got home, I didn't even want the necklace anymore. That's the first time that I realized, perhaps subconsciously, but still realized that me being who I am and just wanting something for myself can hurt my family. And as I got older, this suspicion was only confirmed. When I went to the 3rd grade, I was called gay for the first time. And you know, this was only because I displayed more feminine behaviors. I hung out with mostly girls. I was, I guess, dramatic and more emotional than my fellow males. And unfortunately, it only got worse from there. In middle school, like most people are, I was bullied. But I was bullied for being gay, which actually led to a lot of self-hate when I realized that I was gay. I thought, oh my god, all my peers were right. I am gay. I am this disgusting person because I'm not masculine and I don't like women. Now, luckily, entering the LGBT community really helped me get through that. There was so much diversity available in those communities and just showed me that identity is so much more than just being a macho man or a submissive woman. It felt like a window had been opened and I could finally see, I don't know, salvation. I saw so many different types of people, so many different types of identities available. I really did like see that rainbow, and I realized that life was so much more complicated than what is being told to us, and that people are so much more complicated, and that identity is so much more complicated, and that just offered so much more room for me to breathe. I could be a feminine man, but still be a man. I can be a feminine man, but be straight. I'm not, I'm gay, but I could be a feminine man and still be straight. Like, that's totally acceptable. There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to an identity. Although this seems like a no-brainer to a lot of people, and especially even me now as a grown adult, when I was growing up, like, people did not see it this way. People did not think, oh yeah, you can just be a feminine man and be straight. Like, that wasn't really like a acceptable form of being. And the solution to this problem is so simple that when I look back, sometimes I get so angry. It's like, why did I have to go through that? The answer was so simple. Just allow for identities to exist. Just allow for people to exist. God. Just because someone identifies a certain way doesn't mean that they are harming your identity or putting your identity into question. If there was room for what it means to be a man, other than this narrow path of saying, I have to be dominant, strong physically, into sports, if that wasn't the sole narrative of what it means to be a man, I wouldn't have gone through all of the bullying, I wouldn't have gone through all the self-hatred. My life just would have been objectively better. So I want to work to change this narrative. Let's question what it means to be a man. Let's change the story up a little bit. Let's leave people room. Of course, then there's the question, if we leave an infinite amount of possibilities under one identity, what does that identity even mean anymore? And to that, I don't have the answer to. But if you have some ideas, please leave them in the comments. Give this video a like if you liked it, and of course, please subscribe if you feel so inclined. I had a lot of fun talking with you guys. I'll see you next week, and until then, goodbye.